guess it's my turn.
Yep.
Which I've never been interviewed, so I'm excited. So
Yeah, we had Todd Pascal here, old high school friend of mine. Actually, we met probably in middle school, huh?
yeah.
It's been a long time. He's starting his own business called Fandom Flashbacks.
Yep.
You know, he's going to be doing memorabilia,
Yeah.
merchandise, all sorts of old school stuff.
Yeah.
Things
got
that you
some
know.
collectibles and some toys, and toys are my favorite. I'm a child like that.
Yeah. So yeah, we did. He interviewed me a few minutes ago. Now I'm going to interview him. Get the story of Todd out there to the world for the rest of the world to hear. So, what you been doing since high school? Since I last saw you?
Oh man. I mean, I know we ran into each other about 4 years ago when I was doing the management thing, as far as restaurants, and that was fun. And I mean, I probably would have kept doing that for a long time. I love being a leader to people. I was definitely influencing these kids because these kids were like 18 to 20.
Yeah, younger.
Like,
kids.
yeah, these were younger servers for sure, and I was turning lazy kids around to hardworking, like really giving a shit about their job type people. Like I had one of my worst servers become one of my best trainers, and I love doing that. I like to influence people. The reason I had to leave that job was because my daughter was getting older. She was about to go to school, and I couldn't get her on weekdays anymore because she was going to be in school. And if I had kept that job, then I would have lost time with her because restaurant industry, it's hard to get weekends off. So I just had to get out of there, unfortunately. Like I said, I loved it. I was getting paid pretty well, but I did what I had to do for my daughter. And since then, I've really just been trying to find a new and different calling that can sustain. I mean, everybody talks about success like, oh, let's hit a million, and that's not me. And I just want to be able to live off something that's fun again. So
Yeah.
this has definitely been my new idea.
Good philosophy. We'll get to that in a minute. Let's rewind a little bit. I see you all the time on Facebook. You love to be a dad. I can just tell. I can just
Yes, I do.
tell. Just the way you talk about your daughter, the way you post. Tell us a little bit about your daughter. You know.
Oh, my daughter is obviously amazing. Gorgeous little girl, and she's so much like her daddy. It's unreal. It's really funny. When me and my ex first got pregnant, I really wanted a boy because of all the nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
that my interest. Like that's why I was like, I want a boy so I can teach him all this stuff. And it was really funny because I ended up with a girl, and I'm super. Of course, you're gonna be happy either way.
Yeah.
But now I've told people several times. I said I don't even know if I want another kid. I was like, I won because first of all, she's super easygoing. Like she's not a hard kid to deal with. She doesn't talk back, nothing like that. Like she's really, really good. But also she has her girly girl side, so I got the best of both worlds. So I get to learn about My Little Pony, but I also get to teach her about Ninja Turtles. Like she loves all that stuff, but she loves all the girly girl stuff too. Like she loves all of it. She hopped in the car one day about 5 years old, and she said, and this before I introduced her to Power Rangers. I hadn't introduced her to it yet because I didn't know it was on Netflix and I couldn't find it anywhere. And she hops in the car and she goes, Daddy, you know what I want to do this weekend? I was like, what? She's like, I want to watch Power Rangers. I was like,
Nice.
I'm going to have to see if this is on Netflix now. Now I'm really going to have to push it. I was like, heck yeah. Yes, we can absolutely do that. So yeah, she's definitely like Daddy.
Very nice. So like the My Little Pony stuff, you're giving her fandoms, but she's also teaching you new ones.
Oh yes. And as far as like what we watch on TV, it usually does have something it usually has to be something that we can both watch. But the funny thing is, even without me watching My Little Pony, I know so many of these characters' names. It's unreal. I never thought I would know this much about My Little Pony.
Be honest, Todd. Who's your favorite pony?
My daughter would kill me if I didn't say Rainbow Dash. I love Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same. I've never seen it. It just sounds like a cool name.
It is pretty awesome.
So, one more thing on your daughter. So the name Arya.
Yeah.
Is that Game of Thrones related? Is that inspired by the character?
No. funny story.
It's a good name, regardless.
I was really, really adamant about the fact that, because I'm also a huge music fan as far as my eclectic taste in music. I did used to rap. I still will every now and then when I have time. But I'm huge into music, even though I've never played an instrument. I've never sang, but I'm really huge into music, and I wanted her name to be music related. So I tried melody, I tried harmony, I tried cadence for drum cadence, and her mom was having none of it. And I finally looked up music term names and found aria, which means gentle music. And I was like, how about aria? And she's like, I like that. I was like, damn right you like it.
Very nice. Very nice. As long as I can remember, Todd has been into music.
Oh, yeah.
Like high school, even middle school, he was the Michael Jackson guy.
Oh, yeah.
Huge into Michael Jackson. Like, what was it about your childhood that really just got you into music? Because, like, I was in band, but you like music more than the band kids did. so tell us about that.
That's a funny thing, too. I grew up originally listening to just country because with my mom and my real
Me
dad,
too.
before they got divorced, that's all my dad listened to was country. Then when they got divorced, my first stepdad came into the picture, and he would listen to like the classic rock. And mom decided once she split up with my dad that she was going to branch out, and she would listen to like 102.9, which back then was like poppy R&B hip hop type stuff, In Vogue, stuff like that. And so that started broadening it a little bit. But what really got me was in high school. There was about an hour and a half of music late at night that was called, it was nothing but 80s. I think it was like I Love the 80s or something on 102.9 for like an hour and a half, and they would play Prince and Michael and Madonna.
Classics.
And I had heard Michael Jackson music. I didn't know much about it, but it was really funny when when one of Michael's songs would come on, I would find myself dancing, and then come to find out, somehow I had absorbed a couple of his moves without even knowing it. Because I was like, hey, that's how... Once I looked up a video, I'm like, hey, I've done a couple of those.
You were channeling the same energy.
Yeah, and it was like the same, like, just bobbing your head. I was like, just subtle things. And so then I decided I was going to try to learn how to dance. And I taught myself a moonwalk, taught myself a couple pop and lock moves. And from there, it skyrocketed. I took a history of rock and roll class in college, my first semester of college. I went to Germany, and his mom had like this huge CD collection. And when he was at school, when we weren't actually doing anything in Germany, I sat on his computer and burned all these CDs and transferred them to my iPod while I was in Germany. So yeah.
Very nice. So Germany, I didn't know you went to Germany. How long were you there for?
I was there for 2 weeks. I actually had my 17th birthday in Germany. It was over the summer.
What took you there? Who'd you know?
It was a foreign exchange program with Western Hills called Sister Cities, and see, you were there for when he came over. You may not remember that as much, but when I went, it was for the summer. So a lot of my high school friends didn't know I went, but I went over there for 2 weeks, and man, it was a blast.
That sounds like fun.
If over there you can drink, we weren't supposed to because there were teachers and stuff, but my foreign exchange student actually did take me to a bar, and he was like, we don't have anything that we have to do with the actual group. He's like, you're fine for the night. So we had a couple of parties. It was fun. On my 17th birthday, they took me to this little club is what they called it, but it looked like a high school dance with a live band is what it looked like. So like there's this dance floor and a live band, and since it's my birthday, they told the band that how much I love Michael Jackson, and I hear them playing the Beat It solo on the guitar, and like 3 or 4 German kids just pushed me up on the stage, so I had to dance. Like it was fun.
What an experience.
Yeah.
So, we got you a little bit of your backstory.
Yep.
You worked in the restaurant industry a lot in your early adult life.
Yeah.
And then you've had your daughter. You try to spend as much time with her as you can.
As much as I'm legally allotted. So if I could get her more, I definitely would.
Now we're kind of getting closer to the present with Fandom Flashbacks. Tell us a little bit more about what Fandom Flashbacks is and how it came to you. Like, why start this at all? Like, what inspired you?
There's always been a little bit of I've always had a little bit of entrepreneurial tendencies to begin with, because my mom owned her own businesses for most of my life until the last like 5 years. She has her own a job, a regular job now, but she still runs stuff and Facebook sales on the side too. But she's for 20 years, my first 20 years of life, 25 years, like she always owned her own business, and we grew up in that. There were times as kids that we didn't like it because she made us work. You know, we were forced to work. I remember going out to Trader's Village on weekends and having to holler at people everything's half price, or we had Beanie Babies. When I was 8 years old, Mom had 2 stands at Trader's Village, so she would run the big one with her employees, and she'd have me and like one other dude, like my cousin or something, running this little one. And I ran the register, and 8 years old, I'm counting back change. So, I mean, and I hated it then.
Blood.
I hated it then because I was made to do it, but it taught me a lot. Definitely, she paid us very reasonably. She was hard on us, but she paid us very reasonably for the time. And
probably great money for a kid.
Oh yeah, I was making like $10 an hour.
Oh,
at one point,
wow.
Yeah. I think when I was
back in the 90s.
Once I started at 10, once I hit 10 years of age, I'm pretty sure I was making like $10 an hour, and that's how I ended up buying my car and all that. But
the fabled Ranger.
We've always done stuff with yeah, the Danger Ranger. We always bought stuff at garage sales and stuff and flipped it. That was where she really started her business out of Trader's Village, and we've always gone to garage sales together. And I noticed, like, again, something even when I was a little older, I hated going to garage sales with her, but mom just wanted, a partner with her. So I'd go with her and I'd help her out. And I finally found a way that it started interesting me is I'd find old toys. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. That's cool. I need to get this for Aria. Especially when the Aria came along and changed a whole lot of things, because she loves the same things I do. I get all the toys for her, the Ninja Turtles, all that. So when I would find stuff at garage sales, I'd get really excited. And then I decided, I was like, you know what? It would be really cool if I could bring this much joy to other people by selling them the same kind of stuff. And, at the same time, if it got big enough, I'd be paying for my own collection where,
Exactly. Funding your own
hobby. I'd be funding my own hobby, but, giving back to the same kind of people. Yeah, it's a win-win. So that's kind of where that started. And, lately, I've been really slow about listing some stuff. It's taken me some time. I work a lot, and then I have my daughters, and I never cut time off with her, so I don't do a whole lot of listing. But I do put out a lot of content, and the reason I do is because I want people to understand, what this actually means to me on a much deeper level. I want my daughter to see you can follow your dreams. I want. I actually do believe in the products that I'm selling. I'm very passionate about that. And the documenting thing came from watching Gary Vaynerchuk. Shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. If y'all haven't seen him, he's awesome. He's one of those people who just always hustle, but also, the ROI does not have to be $1 million. The ROI is happiness. And so I've been really driven about putting out content about that. Memes, just being me and putting that out there, and hopefully develop a community of people that can also talk about the same things.
That's great, man. That's like really refreshing to hear, because a lot of people, they get into business just to make money. That's all they care about is just the money. But with this guy, I've just seen him, like, he hasn't even tried to sell anything yet. He's building a loyal fan base through being genuine, being himself. And hey, if he happens to make a few bucks along the way, then that's win-win for everybody. Because the goal is for his customers to be happy, feel that sense of nostalgia, excitement that they had as a child. To get those toys and collectibles, memorabilia, and then if he happens to make a few bucks, then that's great. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to collaborate with Todd, because on my end, we make shirts, my brother and I, and we can make any kind of shirt, and what we'd really like to do is get into these fandoms that him and his community are into, and cater our shirts towards those people, and of course also making his own brand stand out.
I'm still pumped. Guys, my hand has been shaking for like an hour.
So
my adrenaline is pumping over this shirt.
I'll try to get a image of the shirt up on the screen so you can see it. Because it's reversed right now because of the camera situation, but we'll have pictures of it. You'll have it available on your website.
Oh yeah,
pretty soon here. So now we know a little bit about Fandom Flashbacks. Now, where do you see it going in the next year? And then elaborate. What's your dream? What's your 5-year after that?
And I've learned very quickly to be patient about this, because if I push it too much, I'm gonna look like a car salesman, and I don't want to do that. I have posted a few items, but it's like I said, it's nerdy stuff. So you're still enjoying the picture. Oh, that's a cool toy. You're still getting something out of the content. So if you want to buy, you could buy. If not, that's cool too. But I don't want to become a car salesman in this. So I've learned to be very patient. So as far as a year, I'm thinking, maybe I'm getting some sales here and there. 5 years, I really hope to get that fan base to a point where, maybe I have 1,500 followers, but only, 20 buy. But if 20 buy and I can make a living, then I'm good with that. If I could do this and quit my job and just live like regular, nothing extravagant. I don't need $200,000 a year or $1 million. Just a basic living, being able to afford my own collection and a roof over my head. That's in 5 years, and that's really all I want. If it goes there in 5 years, I would have already won, as far as I'm concerned.
That's great, man. It just feels like, we share a lot of the same goals in terms of happiness, in terms of not the material possession, but just
until it comes to my collection. But yes.
But not having extravagant things left and right, but just the things that you really care about. For me, all I care about is having a nice phone, a nice computer. Everything else, I could sleep on the floor. Yeah. I don't care about the roof over my head really. Over the years, my wife and I, we just got to the point where why are we trying to work for all these corporations and to try the more money we made, the more money we spent, and we were never getting anywhere. We were just spinning our wheels in the mud, just not really getting anywhere, because the more money, the more income we had, the more our expenses went up. We'd get a nicer apartment, get another car, we get the better data plan, whatever it was, and we just never got anywhere until we realized that we had to start cutting things out and just really appreciate the little things and grasp what's important. That's what really resonates with me about what you were saying is a year from now, if you're making a few sales here and there and you're just living comfortably and you're happy, man, dude, I jive with that big time.
Yeah. Another thing is too is even right now, don't get me wrong, I would like an apartment. I don't even want a house. As far as that, 5 years from now, if I could just pay an apartment rent, I'd be good. Right now, I do live in a trailer, which is not bad until you have that collection and you're trying to sell stuff too. It gets super crowded. That I would at some point I would like a little bit more space, but I still don't see myself ever owning a home or caring to. Because if I own a home, then I got to get a lawnmower. Then I got to,
all the things that go with it.
Yeah, and as much time as I spend on this now, I'm gonna put, if it becomes my actual, career, I'm gonna put even more time into it. And I'd rather spend that time doing that than having to mow lawn or any of that. I'd give me an apartment where I can put up my collection, and I'd actually be genuinely happy.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of you guys know about, you know, my wife and I. Home is just kind of a place where we sleep. You know, we really like getting out there. You know, just having adventures. You know, living life beyond the desk, because we always like to say, you know, yeah, I think Todd kind of has that same kind of aspiration. Just, you know, have a comfortable home life, but then just really like, I believe in spending money on experiences.
You mentioned going out, and I forgot one thing as far as my 5-year plan. Along with the online sales, I really want to be able to travel to different Comic Cons.
Oh yeah.
And set up a little booth there. I went to my first Comic Con about 6 months ago, All Con, and took my little one, and we had the best 4 days of our lives. Like, I knew once me and my ex split that there was no way I was going to be able to take her to Disney World, which every parent wants to take their kid to Disney World. But that, for me, was even better. That was daddy-daughter Disney World.
That was catered to you.
Yeah.
And your shared taste.
Yeah, and that was our daddy-daughter Disney World. And I realized then that was about the time that I really started pushing hard on Fandom Flashbacks. It was right after that. I realized that I want to be surrounded by those kinds of people, because they were all really nice, really like talkative, real chill. You know, obviously I had been tired of the judgment for a long time. There is no judgment coming from most of those people. You know, online there's a different story. Sometimes you have some
there's
trolls,
always the trolls.
but like at Comic Con, the trolls are gone. Like they're just all awesome, and that would be probably, as far as the business goes, my biggest goal is to be able to travel to all the Comic Cons, including like really San Diego, like all the Comic Cons. Yeah, any of the big ones. I want to do all of them. I want to travel all across the country doing it.
That's great, man. So before we let you go, is there anything else you want to share with the camera, with the internet world here?
Guys, you know what I really want to share with you guys? If you get anything out of these 2 interviews, do you be happy. Do not let anybody tell you that your interests are childish and you need to grow up, or, you know, you're never going to get a girl, or you're never going to get a guy acting like that. Just really get inside your own head, and that needs to be the only voice you hear. Everybody else, fuck them. That's what I want. I hope y'all get from this, because this has been the happiest time of my life.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.